Good morning.
Hello. Good evening. Oh, wait,
Happy
no, good morning.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Welcome back.
Yeah.
How you been?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice. Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting. I'm Jason.
I'm Danielle.
You are?
And you are the #1 customer. Did you
are.
know that? You are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm a little bit to the left. I need to
Yeah. Do you want to come on over?
make it a little bit.
I mean, do I need a shift?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're doing great.
Right.
It's been a minute. So, like, the last few videos, I've done everything here, or Sadie's
Right.
been here, or it's
Right.
been...
Right. I still think I should move.
You want to scoot over just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
How's that? Does it look
Sorry,
good, everybody?
everyone.
Good? We good? Thank you. How's it sound? Are you listening?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not listening.
So it's not raining today yet.
Well, it's rainy. It's
Rainish.
like cloudy.
It's gross.
Overcast. It's so
However,
day for
All
sure.
rain aside, Donut Panic is open. It is, the last 2 days has been a line
Around
out the door
Yeah.
of that, like, man.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
panic has been real.
It has
That
been,
has
there's
been.
some
Lot
panic
of
inside it.
Yes.
Maybe it's just excitement. Maybe don't
Yeah.
confuse it for the panic.
Right.
Regardless, if you come into town, I'm going to strongly encourage you to make it over there. They did sell out yesterday right before noon. They're supposed to be open till 1, but I'm going to guess they stay open till they done.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
make sure you go visit them, please. Maybe get some, stand in line for a minute, then come say
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all can form a line outside our business.
Right. Come on. Let's
Come on in and
do
get
it.
some fabric, sell us out. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Be interesting.
Different.
The lighting's got, it's doing something.
Hmm?
I'm having a problem with the lighting. I'm going to stop looking at it.
I think you're just getting shadowing from my monitor again.
Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I'm not going to mess with
They all know we're not complete professionals
Nobody
here.
cares.
So they really don't.
Nobody cares.
They don't. Anyway, so we're here today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about stripology,
We are.
right?
Right.
I feel we haven't really kind of dived into you being an educator or what the shop partner program really means to
What do
everybody.
all those things mean?
So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that. Also, if you've never watched before, and this is your first time because you saw a link to a stripology related video and you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, we're going to talk about what stripology is. You need to see this. It'll be a great time. So
I also have friends who are 100%. I have rulers that I like. I use those rulers.
totally cool.
Totally cool.
Don't just run off.
Yeah. It's still going to be fun.
It will be.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell myself. Okay. All right. We have some people saying hi. Also, while you're out there, say hi, hello, and all the things. I appreciate that. Let's say a couple of hellos real fast. We do have Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Good morning, Pam.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joyce. Good to see you on.
Good
Hello.
morning.
2.0.
morning. Good morning.
Jill and Deborah are hanging out, enjoying their Liberty project. Oh, that sounds
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Love it.
Good morning, Jill, also.
Hello, Jill. Good morning, Vicky. Good to see you on. Kelly, hanging out on the YouTubes with Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Good to see you as well. Fantastic. I love it. There's Pat. Yay, stripology. Right. I mean, why would you do anything else?
Right. Oh, you know what we didn't bring in was the case.
Mm,
But that's a whole other day.
that's another
You can
day.
do a whole day
We
on that
could,
case.
I think maybe just live in that case would be fantastic. A couple announcements to talk about while everybody else is jumping on, saying hello, all the things. By all means, please do. Make sure you hit that share button. If you enjoy the conversation, if you're having fun, please share. Your friends will love you and appreciate you for it. I really appreciate it because it helps us out and it's free.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything. That's the free,
Yeah, that's what free means.
by the way. But also, if you're over on the YouTube side, make sure you hit that subscribe button. The notification system over there seems to be far superior to that of Facebook. Get your
Yeah, and who
game
knows?
together, guys.
You know,
Do better.
Facebook changes all the time. Maybe
Right.
they'll be better tomorrow.
They'll probably be better
I don't
tomorrow and terrible the next day. Who knows? We're changing programming. It's fine. No, it's not.
Right.
Stop it. Also, don't forget to use those little reactions there at the bottom of your screen. We do love to see those float by. Not that just because they're cute, but they let us know that you're actually out there watching. Because
wow.
the three of us could sit here and just ramble on forever.
Did we
I
even tell
could.
them that Sadie's here with us?
I didn't.
Hi.
Sadie, she's doing the production thing. Thank you, Sadie. But yeah, it helps us. Please just use those. Anyway, let's see here. So a couple announcements. I don't have a whole lot for announcements. The biggest one is we have H&H started
Right.
this week.
Right.
So it runs tomorrow. We have HandiQuilter event in the evening, and then basically we're gone into Chicagoland till Thursday.
All three of us in this room.
Yeah.
So that means The shop is still open.
Absolutely.
They are going to be great.
It's going to be fine.
But
I would prefer you come in and buy all the things while I'm not here.
Right. Yeah. You know.
So, but
if there is a line out the door, though, just be patient.
be patient. We're just a quilt shop.
Yeah, just a quilt shop.
Right. we don't have hot to go items, so it's not going to be cold waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's just fabric.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, so we'll still be open. They'll be here to
But we
serve
will
you.
not have a video on Wednesday night.
Because of that, we will not be here Wednesday night to do a live sale.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
We will probably...
Don't say probably, because I don't know. We'll see how busy things are.
We will probably do some pop-up live.
It would be wise of us, too, to say hi.
Or at least post some pictures and tell you,
Right.
what we're seeing. I think the last time we found that internet was kind of spotty, and so...
Right. It's a large convention center.
Yeah, so who knows if we can actually do video.
Also, H&H, for those of you that don't know, H&H is a trade show for quilt shops and crafty folk shop owners.
Yeah.
It actually started, and we did a video on H&H last year, actually.
Yeah.
So I'd go watch that again for more information. But started as, crafty trades, knitting, crochet, things of the sort.
Lots of yarn, lots and lots of yarn. And it's an international show, so they do it in a couple of places across the world. So, this is the one that's in the United States, is in Chicago, which is only like a 6-hour drive at the most for us.
If we go slowly and we stop at every half hour and just stop for stopping purposes.
Right.
Otherwise, if you go really fast, you can make it to Chicago in like 4 hours.
I don't know.
You ever seen the movie Cannonball Run?
No, I haven't.
It's about a race across America. It's fantastic and silly.
So
Burt Reynolds was in that movie.
Who cares? Anyway, apparently not me.
You want to go fast?
Yeah.
Let's go.
But so it is really nice that we don't have to fly somewhere, be gone for, more than just the 3 days we're going to miss here at the shop.
Right. And I get to see so much more at this point, which is great.
Yes, because the fabric companies have taken over. I mean, last year there was a lot of fabric companies, but still several that were missing. We're like, okay, are they? But they saw the crowds and they were like, let's do it. So it is going to be a big show.
You got sewing machine companies.
We are going to get to see all the cool things that are coming 6 months from now, next year, all the stuff. Some of it will be ready to go now.
Are we going to tell them about it, or are we just going to hold on to that? Keep it under our hats?
Do you guys know how bad I am at keeping secrets?
She's terrible.
Like I buy a Christmas gift for someone. And I'm like,
I'll know before Christmas.
Can I just give it to you now?
She buys stuff on Christmas Eve. That's kind of how we shop for Christmas.
It's better that way because otherwise you get it all December long.
I bought this for you, but you can have it now. It's June.
Anyway, so it's hard for me to keep secrets, but I'm going to do my best for those that I can't, tell you about.
Right.
But, we always go and look for what is the newest, greatest notions. There's machine dealers who are bringing new machines that we don't even know about yet, that we're going to get to find out about.
Yeah,
so
I'm kind of
very exciting stuff. And we're going to, hope that I hold out.
We'll see what happens. It'll be fine. Regardless, we'll come back with a lot more information than you'll probably ever need in your life. So it'll be a good time.
Absolutely. It'll be fun.
All right, so let's go say hi to some people because we have a lot more people jumping on.
Okay, cool.
We've got Linda. Good morning.
Morning, Linda.
Hello, Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
Get to
Hi,
work.
Lou.
Pam said thanks, Sadie. Thank you, Sadie. Let's see here. Julie's on. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Penny.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good morning.
Dorothy made it. Gosh,
Hi,
you're
Dorothy.
on top of things today, Dorothy. I love it. That's great. Julie wants us to have so much fun. Hello, Debbie.
Hi.
Julie wants us to assault some fabric. Yes, ma'am.
Will do.
Will do.
You got it.
Check. Linda, put the hammer down across the USA. Yes, ma'am.
Woo.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's go. She gets it. Good morning, Karen. How you doing? Find some cool things for us. We will. We'll find all the cool things. Good morning, Barb. Good to see you.
Hi,
Hello,
Barb.
Glenna. Good day.
Good morning.
And there's Terry. Hello. It does sound like fun.
Good morning. Good morning.
The cool thing that
Good
I would like to point out about H&H, while it is a trade show this year, my understanding is that next year they're making a consumer side. That is the intent, which is exciting.
So
you
if
guys
any
can
of you
all go check
have
all that
ever
out.
been to Houston for their
International
festival,
Quilt Festival.
yes, they're hoping that they can do similar thing next year in Chicago. Have us first, have you next.
Right. So fingers
We'll
crossed.
see.
If you like that whole traveling and to go see these things,
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, it just sounds great, honestly. I'm excited about it. So, yes, Julie, OMG. That's the correct response. And again, it's
So
nice to have it
fun.
stationary, I think. Like they used to do the spring markets where they would jump them
Move.
around.
Mhm.
I like the idea of it being Chicago, Houston,
I like it,
centrally-ish
yes. Yeah.
located in the United States.
Right.
Centrally-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted central,
because,
go to Nebraska.
the spring market would be, one year it was in St. Louis and the next year it was in Portland. And we're like, well, we're
Man,
not
that
going
would have been cool, though.
Well, but we were not going to go to
No.
Portland. Like, that's not going to happen. So if that stays Chicago, we can do that.
Right. I think that'd be awesome. Good
Stop.
times.
Anyway.
Bus.
We could take a bus.
To do a bus.
Oh, my
Change in
gosh.
age. Anyway.
Boy, that just stressed me
Man,
out.
That did stress me out, too. Anyway.
While you guys are stressed, I'm going to do it all.
Oh, okay.
Sadie's got it. All right, we'll
So
see how
we're
that
going to
works
go
out.
for our side.
Uh-huh.
We'll be back. You'll leave with the bus.
That sounds awesome.
Perfect.
Love it. Great time.
Anyway, oh my gosh, they're writing it down. So
I know. I got it.
But you said...
I know.
Morning, Vicky. Good to see you on as well. That's awesome.
good morning.
All right. Other things to know that June is coming. June, there's several quilt shows to concern with. We also have, a Janome education event coming up in June.
Oh, yes.
That is going to be, it takes two. So you're going to come in and you're going to work with possibly a partner or a friend.
Mhm.
You're going to work on the M8. And
Oh, it's
the
such a great
550E.
machine.
The M8 is one of the best sewing machines I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
When anybody says hands down the best.
Yeah.
The 550E is a great single needle embroidery machine. You will actually walk out with a project done.
It can be going over here
Right.
while I can sew on my M8 with stitch regulation.
All right.
Hello.
Love it.
So great.
So that'll be, what days are those again?
20th and 21st.
The June 20th and 21st. That's a Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a half a day thing, right? Just a couple hours. Is that, correct me if I'm wrong?
I believe it's an all-day class.
All day class.
So you
Right.
either do Friday
Correct.
or Saturday.
Okay.
Correct.
Mhm.
So, and we're limited on seating for that. Have we opened it up?
Not yet.
Not yet, but no, it's coming.
This is a save the date situation.
Save the date. Put it on your calendar. Either Friday or Saturday. Are you really looking for a new machine? Are you really looking for that embroidery? You want to get your hands on it. Also, those machines are going to be classroom machine models, and I'm probably going to want to get them out the door. So if you're looking for a good deal on one of those, that's going to be the day to do it. So come to the class, know how they work, take one home. It'll be a good time.
So I
And
have an
most.
M7,
You do.
which is really great,
Love it.
but the M8,
I love the M8.
it's so great.
They are great.
There's more things on it, and especially that stitch regulator. If you want to do, and listen, I have a long arm, so I don't need to quilt
Right.
on my domestic machine, but I made a table runner.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
And
minute.
I could have done that on my machine. I don't free motion quilt well enough,
Yeah,
in my opinion. So like having an M8 would be great.
would be. Absolutely. You know
I
what?
can't see any comments. So I'm sorry. I'm like continuing to do this.
I got you. I got this. It's also because our setup is a little bit different, so I'm trying to make it work, so she's fine. I would like to point out that Karen said that you can take the train to Chicago. It's a fantastic way to get there. She's not wrong. Followed up by
I've
a
heard
comment by
that.
Julie that especially there's a stop at the Rosemont Convention Center, which is where H&H
It's
is.
exactly where it is. Oh my gosh, we could have taken the train.
So we decided very much last minute that we were
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So there was no time to plan for a train. Also,
we could still get train tickets. It's
Mhm.
not too late.
Check it right now. No, wait till after the video.
stop it. Yeah, Karen's got the M8 550 ELE combination.
Oh, that's right.
It
That's
is
right.
Great setup, great
Yeah.
combination there.
Yeah,
so.
she got it when there was a special. You
Mhm.
got both machines.
Buy one, get the other. Like it was great.
I bet that's going to happen, something like that.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yes. Anyway, all right. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see here. What else do we have to make mention of?
No Wednesday next week because of H&H.
We did
Yeah,
say
we
that
did.
already.
Okay, perfect.
Also, because of the June quilt shows, that weekend, the 7th and the 8th, we do suspect that we will be overextended to 2 quilt shows. So we will be closed Saturday, June 7th.
No shop hours.
You can come by the store. We will not be here. So please note, make sure you mark on your calendar that date. We will also have that posted out there often. Your mom loves the train. She mentioned that twice.
Yep.
Good. She's really, she
Oh,
loves
she
the
did it
train.
twice.
Loves it. Joyce gets the business class train tickets, and you have way more room and less people around you. Ooh, I'm in.
Oh,
That sounds great.
Dude.
And Karen's glad to see you as well.
Get up and go to the dining car. Like, I love the train.
I've actually
Don't
never
get me over there.
been
I'll
on
talk
a train
about
for
the
too
train the
long.
whole time.
Maybe we're gonna not talk about quilting today or stripology. We're just gonna talk about riding the train.
Yeah.
I believe there was a song from the 90s about that.
There was.
It's not.
Woo woo.
I don't know it. I'm sure I do know it, but I don't know right now.
I know you do. It's okay. We're gonna have not that day today. So, also don't forget Monroe County Fair is coming in July. We will be there for that as well. That is the last week of July, which is exciting. So, all right. I think that's everything. I think we've said hi to all the people. If you're jumping on and you're more like interested in what's going on, say hi. Hit share. Hit like. What you looking at?
I'm trying to read over there. Okay.
I've actually mentioned everybody's everything that's on that screen right now. Stop it. All right. Let's talk about what you know. Let's talk about stripology.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. So we have been talking about stripology for, well, we started doing videos in 2020, and I'm pretty sure we've done a stripology video every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
At least once, if not multiple times in a year. Who out there doesn't know about stripology? Please raise your hand. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty.
Oh, I have okay, so I'm going to talk all about stripology, but I have a really cool story that I just want to share real quick.
Yeah.
So I am in a group with other educators from around the world.
You are.
And one of the educators posted in our Facebook group that she had a lady in class who is legally blind.
Okay.
And she could not quilt or sew anymore because it was very difficult for her to get measurements.
That makes sense.
And with stripology, she could count over using her finger, and she could use her rotary cutter and not cut. Yeah, so it was so great. Like,
that's cool.
So the things that have happened as far as being able to help people who have a trimmer that they're not, they're able to cut again, and people with all different kind of.
So it's more than a ruler; it's a quilting aid.
It is. And that's so great.
I love that.
So we're going to talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Love that. Love it. Love it very much. All right. So do you want to hold it up or you want to just jump right into the overhead of showing this whole beautiful, fantastic ruler situation?
I can hold stuff up because you can then hold up over there.
Before we go too much farther, actually, let me back up. I meant to say this. So, Stripology ruler. Who invented this here lovely device?
So these were invented by Gudrun Erla. She is from GE Designs, and she worked with Creative Grids to develop these rulers. And so Creative Grids is the manufacturer of them. And if you've used any Creative Grid ruler, they have that grip across the whole back side, which helps keep them from slipping. I've had people tell me, oh, well, they still do slip. I mean, they can. If you push down real hard, you can push anything,
just about
right?
any ruler can
but
slip.
This is so much better because it has that grip. So a lot of rulers, if they have any grip, they'll put something on the corners, and that's good enough. No, Creative Grids puts that grip between every slit in this ruler. So it's across the entire backside. So that's really going to help keep things from sliding around.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's have a look at what this thing is.
Yeah, so Creative Grids is Stripology is a whole family of rulers. So you've got some over there. So there's 4 different rulers, right? So we've got XL ruler, the squared ruler, and then we have 2 small rulers, which is the squared mini and the quarters mini. So I have a lot of people who ask me, well, if I was to get one, which one would I get? Well, in my opinion, you need all 4.
Well,
but then you never need another ruler.
Never.
Okay. But if you want to start off, you want to figure this out, you want to see if you like it, the XL ruler is the way to go because it does have so many features. So so this is a nice thick acrylic. I don't know how to do this. Like, I think it's better if she's, yeah. So it's a nice thick acrylic. And because it is so thick, your blade only has one way to go, which is straight, right? It can't veer off. Also, because it's thick acrylic, there's no gapping between these. So there's slits every ½ inch, right? So I can cut between any of these slits. But the slits are very tight. There's only room for my blade, right? There's no wiggle room in there. Because if you think about it, this would be one measurement, but if I could push on it, that would be a different measurement. So they're really very well made. Wonderful, great ruler. Get it from your local quilt shop or from us. Don't go looking for a discount because there are knockoffs out there that are not correct. Creative Grids has pretty much stopped all of that, so I think we're in pretty good shape. But if you are on a website and you're like, oh, look, this is half the price, I would be very leery. You might be getting half the price of nothing.
Right.
So
not a good idea.
So how in the world would you use this thing, right? Well, first of all, you're going to get your full width of fabric, right? So I've got selvage edge.
It's there.
Right?
It's okay.
Okay. So I've got full width of fabric and I'm going to fold it over one time. So here's my fold that was, this is how the fabric would be on the bolt, right? So one extra fold. Let me move my ruler. So I like to use a mat. This is the Creative Grids mat here. Please hold this.
Give me that. Thank you.
This is the Creative Grids mat. And as you can see, there is a lot less lines on the Creative Grids mat. I also like the gray color because it really is gentle on your eyes. Sometimes the mats that are very bright in color, it's hard to see as well. So these mats have from left to right every inch and up and down every ½ inch. But there isn't all those little tick marks, and every 1/8 of an inch there's not a marking. So, but what I like to do is find a line on my mat that I can line up to, and I can just make sure that everything is kind of straight, right? That's really good and straight. And then I put my ruler down. Now, I'm no longer going to look at the mat. I'm only going to look at my ruler. So I like to use a line. Oh, so I just moved that. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna use this line that's on my ruler and make sure that it is across the top edge of my fabric all the way down. And then I'm going to make my cuts. So I'm going to roll my blade in. Once my blade is up and down, then I'm going to go. I normally wouldn't cut off this big of a chunk, but I did today.
That was quite the chunk. And why would you cut that off? What was the point of cutting that off?
So now I've got a straight edge, right?
Oh, okay.
And now that I've moved it a bunch of times.
Because I probably had it wrong or something.
Right.
Okay.
So now that I've moved it a bunch, I'm going to recut because I just like to make sure that that edge is always nice and straight. So, and then let's say, oh, I did it again.
What did you do again?
I should show them these things before I cut.
Oh, okay.
So across the bottom edge here.
That's my bag.
You'll see that there's markings from 0 all the way up to 20.
Okay.
And in between, ½ inch.
Yeah.
But there's also stars for every 1.5 and squares for every 2.5.
So I don't have to math?
Right. Because if I ask you guys to count by 2s, you could easily do that.
Sure.
2, 4, 6, 8, no big deal.
Right.
If I said count by 1.5s or 2.5s, you get the first 3 and then you got to think, right? So this way we don't have to think. We're just going to follow wherever there's a star. So I'm going to cut some 1.5s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll my blade in again at the 0, clean that up, and then anywhere that there is a star, and that way I can keep talking to you guys, and I don't have to count or do math or think or anything.
So I tried doing that one day when I was showing somebody this, and I said I don't have to really. I can just keep talking. And I forgot which slot I was on.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not that talented.
So I'm going to give you this.
Thank you.
I did cut a 4-inch piece, which I'm going to show you something in a minute.
So.
But these are all 1.5s. Okay.
Nice.
Now I'm going to take these 1.5s and I'm going to turn them sideways. And this is when you could open this up. You could press this. I'm just going to turn them over, and I'm going to use the lines on my mat to help me. So I'm going to just leave a space, that ½ inch space. So use my lines, double check that everything is nice and straight, and then I'm going to keep everything a little bit even. All right, great. And now when I lay my ruler back down, I can double check that each one of these is straight before I make any cuts. So this one keeps wanting to creep up on me. I could just adjust a little bit, make sure that everything looks good, and I would double check that that one's straight and that one's straight and adjust if I need to. And now I'm going to make those same cuts, right, wherever there's a star.
Yeah.
And I can keep talking to you because I don't have to think. I can just... And the cool thing is that because of how tight these slits are, we're going to have perfect 1.5-inch squares.
Okay.
Now, I want you to think about if you had to cut all those 1.5-inch squares with a regular ruler. Look at that.
Holy cow.
Okay. And if I stack them up, these are all perfectly 1.5-inch. Okay. Measure them out. They're all going to be perfectly 1.5-inch squares. So if I cut all these 1.5-inch squares with a regular ruler, it would take me significantly longer. Yes.
So you just cut 96 1.5-inch squares.
Yeah.
In like minutes.
Right?
Mostly because you were talking.
Right. And mostly because I was talking. Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that great?
That's fantastic.
So that is like one of my favorite things, right? So when I go, you know, we had a log cabin class. I love telling this story because we had a log cabin class. Everybody was supposed to come with their strips, their 2.5-inch strips already cut.
Right.
And one person didn't get the email. She didn't realize she was supposed to have this stuff cut. So she was panicking. And I said, if I can cut while everybody gets set up, you'll be fine. We'll get you caught up. Everything's fine. So no big deal. So everybody's setting up and I'm cutting her strips. You know, if you're okay with me cutting, that's what I told her. If you're okay with me cutting and you go ahead and get set up, we'll be fine. So I start cutting her strips. And everyone's setting up, and I'm talking to people as they're coming in.
Yeah.
And I had her entire quilt cut out in less than 10 minutes. And that was mostly took me 10 minutes because I was talking and doing other things at the same time.
Yeah.
And this one lady kept watching me. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Anyway, she said, this took me 4 hours to cut out last night.
Yeah.
I need that ruler. So, you know, I mean, it does save you a lot of time. The part that we want to do is the sewing. Nobody is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to cut everything out. Well, I mean, I like to cut now. It's not that serious, but you know, our favorite part is the sewing, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So the faster we can get to that, but also I'll do everything really slow if I get accuracy.
Yeah.
But if I can get accuracy and speed, I'm so happy.
Right. Absolutely. So, everybody's a lot of love in the comments for Excel. Absolutely. I mean, how could you not? Or just Stripology in general.
Yeah.
Joni, hi, Southern Illinois representative.
Yeah.
She's here. Thank you, Joni. Enjoy saying hello from the lake house. But I want to point out, Julie noted that she uses stickers. There are some stickers you can use on there.
Right.
That you can put to mark your cutting lanes.
Yes.
I like that phrasing, marking the cut lanes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to with the 1.5s and the 2.5s, but I could also see where that would help me identify them a little bit easier also.
So also, I was working with Lydia, and it was the first time she was cutting anything, and we had to do either 3.5s or 4.5s, something like that, where it was like, okay, we're going to have to do 3.5 and then 7 and then 10.5, and I sure don't want you to cut at 10,
no,
right? Because that's going to mess it up.
Yep.
So anytime that I have to do anything that's a little bit makes me think, I'm using those stickers. Right. So they come in a pack of 3 different colors. There's like 192 stickers.
I apologize for not bringing them in, but we do sell them.
Right.
I have some on one of the minis if you just want to
that's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah. So here you go. I'm going to show that to you. Oh, yeah.
And you see how mine are starting to peel up. You can use them multiple times.
They're
restickable. And they have been tested. If they are left on there for a year, they will not leave a residue. They're wonderful. You can also use them in your book, like to mark your page or whatever, or mark your spot. They're wonderful stickers.
They are. Also wanted to say hi over on the YouTube because we don't get a lot of chatter on YouTube. So we have Brenda over there saying good morning. Hello, Brenda.
Morning.
Glad you could make it. And hello, Marcia. Glad you jumped on. And see, now Terry, I love what Terry said that she uses her Stripology rulers on every project because you do literally the exact same.
Yes.
I don't remember the last project you did that you didn't use your Stripology ruler.
There isn't one.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not all Stripology projects. Like she's done a ton of things.
Right.
But always uses it.
Always. So, I mean, so it doesn't, she writes tons of patterns and books. Here, I'll just set these over here just to kind of give you, like, and
this is just a small sample. Like, we have so many patterns and books from her. She is prolific.
Right.
I don't remember the number off the top of my head right now, but it's a lot.
You know, this book itself has 17 quilts. Okay. 17 quilts using half yards or fat quarters. I love that she does a lot of things spiral bound. And it's just amazing. So, you know, here's a book with 14 quilts. So these books, first of all, if you do not use the Stripology rulers, she always writes her patterns that they have Stripology rulers or regular rulers.
Yeah.
But of course, your Stripology ruler is going to make it faster. But it doesn't matter. If I'm not making a Stripology quilt, it doesn't matter. I'm still using my Stripology ruler. It just makes everything faster and more accurate for me. So
Right.
I have a tendency to push on stuff.
Yeah.
Or do this. I cut like
Yeah.
if I use a regular ruler.
So you cut off a 4-inch strip of
I did.
fabric. And what was the purpose of doing that?
So I'm going to show you two different things here.
Okay. So you're going to chop that real quick.
Yeah.
You split that in half. Okay.
Yeah. So I split this in half so that I can show you two different things because this will be fun.
Okay.
And this, of course, would have been better if I would have pressed it. But, you know, we're going with what we got.
Yeah, it'll be just fine.
So on the XL ruler, there is a 60-degree line as well as a 45-degree angle. But what I love about this is I have a 4-inch piece of fabric, and I've got my line going right across the bottom edge, and I'm going to cut every 4 inches. Okay, 0, 4, 8, and 12.
Okay.
I can't reach the 16, so I'm going to slide my ruler up, which is, I probably shouldn't have even done this, but we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Slide it up, line things back up, and now I can cut that 16. And what do you think happened?
Magic? We're going to say magic.
Magic! Oh, I'm bad about leaving. We have 60-degree diamonds. If you've ever made a quilt with 60-degree diamonds, you did not get them done this quickly.
No, you had to use a template. That's awful.
I used a template, and it was the terrible. Somebody asked me if I wanted to teach that class, and I was like, never.
Yeah.
I don't want to teach a class where somebody has to use a template. Well, now that I have the ability to do 60-degree angles on this ruler, I would absolutely teach a diamond class.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to do one more thing. So again, same 4-inch width of fabric. Now I'm going to cut every 4 inches. 0, 4, 8, and 12. I'm not going to worry about that 16 this time. I'm going to clear this piece before the 0.
Mm-hmm.
Take my ruler and turn it. This is where it gets tricky on camera.
There you go. Perfect. We needed that. That's perfect. I love it.
Okay, so now that I've got that, here's the 60-degree angle. Okay, and it's going along the top edge. And now I'm going to cut at 0, 4, 8. This would be better if I was standing up, but I'm not.
Right, you're at a weird angle right now, but you're doing great.
12.
It looks professional
And
on screen.
What do we have now?
More
60-degree triangles. Okay,
what?
so if you've cut 60-degree triangles, these are equilateral triangles. You've always used where you're like, cut one, flip the ruler, turn it this way, do that.
No.
And it takes a lot longer than what it just took me, right?
Somebody just screenshot
And
that on me, I'm sure.
These
That's so sad.
are cut accurately every time.
Yes.
So that's just a couple of the things. My other favorite part of Stripology is that I can use it as a square up ruler.
Yes.
So it is not just for strips. This is probably like I said, my favorite part.
There are some things I want to
Yes.
to real quick.
Yes,
Do we want to do that now, or do we want to talk about
Sure.
the square up part? Let's talk about this real quick.
Okay.
The first one I want to address is Jeannie over on YouTube. She loves mine. She mentions that they're pricey and the tool will worth it. I want to mention just that specific conversation about the priciness of it.
Right.
They are a multi-tool, so they do a lot more than just one thing. And I've taken the time and I've looked at a lot of different rulers that are out there that this ruler would replace. You're easily over the $100 mark for just one of these rulers, like to replace what this tool can do. So
Because if you replaced all your square up rulers, how many different ones do you have? Even
Right.
if you only have one, it's probably $40 for a 16 by 16 or 20, you know. So
Right. So yeah, it does seem a little pricey up front, but really what you're doing is taking care of that cost all at once for so many different rulers.
right.
Now, if you've been doing this for decades and you have a complete stockpile of rulers
Yeah.
and you've spent a lot of money on rulers and like
Now, oh my gosh, now I want to buy.
I get that.
Yeah.
But especially if you're new, worth the investment up front. Believe me, you will not be sad about it.
Right.
We have another one here, Katie from Highland, Illinois. She's currently using her Stripology to cut out Winnie, which is awesome.
Oh, I love that.
She says she needs more practice because her strips are still a little bit warped. Any thoughts on that?
So first of all, better make sure that you're pressing well, and using the lines on your mat and folding it and making sure that that fold is really good and tight. Mm-hmm. If that fold is not as tight, that fabric can slip under, right? So then you can have a little bit of a jog at the end.
I also found if I press too hard, I can kind of try too hard to cut. You shouldn't have to try real hard. Yeah. The ruler should do its job to
hold it. But yeah, I mean, and then it's practice, you know.
Practice, for sure.
If you were using a regular ruler, if you had folded it one more time and used a regular ruler, you're still going to get that jog in there. Yeah. You know, I mean, unless you get it pressed really good.
Absolutely. So, Mary Ann asked a question about 1/8, 1/8, 3/8. She's doing a quilt that uses all 3 1/8 strips and all that good stuff. She's trying to find tiny markings for a regular ruler.
Okay.
1/8 as far as Stripology is concerned. Right. Yes, doable.
Yes. So first of all, that's a lot of people say, well, that's fine if you're doing halves and wholes. I cut my binding 2 1/4. So how would I even do that? You can absolutely cut quarters. There is a chart that shows you how. I do recommend the Master Your Stripology Ruler book because it has all of the charts to do quarters and all of that in it.
It also does have information on how to cut 1/8.
Right. And when you're cutting 1/8, you're going to be using one of the smaller rulers. Okay. So the one thing that is a little bit tricky is cutting 1/8 in long strips.
Correct.
What I would suggest is overcutting them if you have to cut long strips, and then using my smaller ruler, turning it the other direction. You know, now I can square them up to the smaller sizes in 1/8 with using either of these. So if you do a ton of 1/8, I really like this quarters mini because it is very easy to do quarters. This has slits every 1/4 inch. Yeah. I find a lot of versatility though in the one that has every 1/2 inch. Right. And it does even have a marking here for 1/8 and for 3/8. So you would line up to the 3/8 line. So let's say you needed to cut 2 7/8. You would line up to the 3/8, cut at 2 1/2 because 1/2 is 4/8 plus your 3/8, you're at 2 7/8. There's a little bit more math involved. You've got to think about it a little bit. But so
that one you can cut multiple 1/8 with.
You can cut multiple 1/8
but only with the quarters mini.
Exactly.
So all doable, yes. Smaller scale, not giant strips at one time necessarily.
Right. So I would overcut and then cut down when I.
Perfect. So hopefully that helps answer that question a little bit for you, Mary Ann.
Yeah. So when people tell me, oh, well, you can only do halves and wholes, and there's a whole lot more measurements in quilting, so that doesn't cover everything, it does. Like I can still do anything and everything with these rulers.
Absolutely.
The only thing I can't do is curves, and I don't want to.
Who wants to do curves? I'm kidding. The curves look great.
Curves are great.
It's not for me.
I just love that little, I say that all the time to people because I really don't want to do quarters. Or I mean curves. I really don't want to.
Eventually, she will. Don't let her lie to you.
But that'll be a different ruler,
different day, different something. Good morning, Stacy. Good to see you on. Jackie loves hers in the mini, and they're worth the price. Absolutely. Yeah. I saw Terry Murr. Terry says that her rulers have paid for themselves in just time saved.
Oh my gosh, your time is money. You're
valuable,
and you are valuable. Your time is worth a lot, right?
Absolutely.
So if we can get these things cut out and ready to go, if we can get things squared up faster, love it.
I have to say, Jackie, you're right. The XL is sham-mazing. Sham wow. Shamtastic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sure.
And Katie says that she's pretty sure that the folds she was getting, her jogs were folds that were causing the problem. So.
Oh yeah.
And I learned generally that early on. The first few times I cut it, and I didn't fully press my stuff, and I had a little crease that I wasn't paying attention to.
I did also find that if I use my mat and make sure that things are lined up straight on the mat before I then put the ruler on, like just taking that extra step, made it so that I didn't have near as much issue.
Cool. Awesome. Do you want to kind of show the square up kind of with that
Yes.
real quick?
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
Because we're talking about, again, squaring up is more that these things do. And all 4 of them square up.
Correct.
Right?
So this is cheater cloth.
Convenience fabric.
Convenience fabric. So it's very convenient today because here we go. We didn't have to go make something and then square it up, right?
Right.
So we have been using this side here of the ruler, which has the 0 through 20. I'm going to turn it around. This has the turnaround feature on the XL. And down here at the bottom, it tells me where to put my...
We'll raise that up there just a little bit so I can see those numbers a little better.
So it's going to tell me where to put my rotary cutter when I want to square up to that size. So I'm just going to line it up and see what I can come up with here. So it looks like we could square this up to 5.5.
I think 5.5 is what I typically do.
Yeah.
Now this is a light fabric and those lines are light, so it's a little tougher, especially with the video graphic to see.
Right, because there are white dashed lines that I can make sure it is going right through essentially what would be this seam right here, right?
Filter this just a little bit, just so they can see them. You see those dotted lines through there now?
I don't think you can see it anyway.
That's okay.
So I can get that right down the seam, here, make sure everything's good. I can also see that that white line going around is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it around to the other side, and I'm going to do hole numbers. So on this side will be for the 1/2 inch. This is going to be for the whole inch, because I think that you will be able to see the dark lines better.
And we can use 5-inch to square up here.
Yep.
You want me to zoom in a little bit?
If you can, without distorting too much or getting too horribly grainy, but that would be fine. There you go.
So now what is a little bit difficult is we're all the way down here in the, you know, where the 0 is. So now, instead of using the white lines that I was using over here, I'm going to use the black lines, and I'm going to make sure that that's going all the way through that seam. And I'm looking at this black square, and I can double check exactly what the block is going to look like after it's cut. So if you think about it, if I wanted a fussy cut, if I had a bird or something in here, I can see where I'm going to cut, but also every slit in between every slit is a 1/4 inch line. So I can also see where I'm going to cut and where I'm going to sew.
Nice.
So then I can square up by cutting on these 2 sides.
Safely cutting away from yourself.
Right. So in a regular square up ruler, you cut here and here, which you're cutting across the front of you and kind of downhill. You're more likely to push on your ruler. You're more likely to
get your hand in the way.
Yes. So this way I cut away from myself and away from myself. So I still cut 2 sides. Then I'm going to take it and turn it.
Well, that'll trim off.
Yeah, it'll trim off when I do it this way. So now, and I would just even push that down, and there we go. Now these 2 sides have been trimmed. So I'm going to lay that black line right across those, the 0 and the 5, right across that cut edge. And then I would, shift it whichever way I wanted to make sure. And of course, at this stage, like this is just not a good piece of fabric for cutting to 5 inches. I'm cutting things off that I wouldn't normally cut off, right?
Correct.
But now, when I've done that,
again, you're at an awkward angle. So.
I am. I need to stand up. I don't know why I did this, but anyway. Then I would have it squared up to 5 inches. So I have all the hole numbers. You see the black boxes from 3 all the way to 12. And if I turn it around here with the white, I have 4.5 up to 12.5. So I can square everything up from 3 inches to 12 inches on the hole numbers, 4.5 to 12.5 on the half inch.
And if you're newish to squaring up and you're not used to using a ruler that covers from 1 to all the way to 16.5, like myself, it's so much nicer to be able to know what you're cutting off. So that's fantastic. A couple things I want to point out or have conversation about real quick. Sure. Pam asked about 1/4 inches on the big one, and the answer is yes. Again, it has those markings for that. The book has the breakdown how to do that.
A 1/4 inch line. Let me see here.
Here you go. Use a piece of fabric.
Just to the left of 0, there's a 1/4 inch line. So there is a chart that tells you how to. Let's just do this real quick.
Oh, okay.
Do we have time? Probably not.
Sure.
Okay.
Danielle says there's time. There's time.
If I wanted to cut 2 1/4 binding,
Yeah.
I'm going to follow my chart, and
Okay.
it's going to tell me to cut at 0,
Yeah.
4 1/2,
Yep.
6.
Okay.
No, I don't know. 4 1/2, 9.
Oh, girl, I don't know. I wasn't ready for you.
4 1/2 and 9.
2 1/4, 4 1/2, and 9.
Yep.
And now this information is available on the Gudrun's website.
Yes.
Not that I'm stealing the information from the book. It is out there in the internet world.
So now that I've cut 0, 4 1/2, and 9, I'm going to remove that piece before 0 and slide my ruler over to the 1/4 inch line. Now I get that 1/4 inch line right at the edge of my 0 and make my second set of cuts.
Oh, I'm sorry. You really...
No, I just really want to make
6
sure.
and
Yeah, I
11.
got it.
Yep.
All right.
And 11. Did you go that far?
No, but I will.
Okay.
So I did, if these are all the same size, we win.
Yay! I love winning.
So
They
I
are.
have all of my strips that are 2 1/4 inch. I had to move my ruler one time. If I was using a regular ruler, I would have moved my ruler, I don't know, too many times. And every time you pick up your ruler and move it is another time you can make a mistake.
Yep.
So we don't want that. So moving our ruler significantly less is great.
I'm going
I've
to
given
address
you
this
everything.
one. Julie asked if we can use bounce backs on rulers. The answer to that is no, ma'am.
So Creative Goods is super strict about no discounts on their rulers, which is why if you find it online for a lesser price than what we sell it at, I would be concerned. I have found that there are a lot of places out there that mark it up to then put a line through it and give you a sale, and it's the same price that we sell it at every day. So
It's shady, but it's a tactic. It works. So again, if you don't have one or you have one and you don't have the book yet, I strongly encourage the book because that rolls right into you are a stripology educator. You went to visit with Gudrun to become certified. You were in the inaugural class.
I was.
Of stripology educators back in 2023.
Oh, really?
It's really been a year and a half
Holy
that you've
cow.
been certified or working on this whole education thing.
So I did go and learn from the person who's writing the books, who's making the rulers, who's developing all of these patterns so that I could understand how she teaches and so that I could teach the same way that she does.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of, that way I can go out and do talks at guild presentations at guilds and clubs.
Yeah.
And we do lots of quilt shows where I demo all day long. So if you are in a guild and you need speakers, hey, reach out because we love to do it.
Yeah.
I also do workshops at guilds and clubs. We do classes in the store all the time. We are just always thinking of what can we do next? How can we continue to help those and reach even those that are further away? We were talking about that this morning. How can we reach those that are further away? And we're working through some things there. And it's really been exciting because I see so many people who, like I was talking about earlier, who maybe have stopped quilting because they have run into health issues that they can't see as well, or have issues. So, and these things have considerably helped a lot of people get more accurate and better results with their quilting.
And before we go into the last conversational point, then that being a shop partner, a couple questions real quick to address. Pam, there are rotary cutters that don't work with the stripology rulers. Those are specifically the safety ones that have the rubber that covers the blade. So you have to push down for that blade to be exposed. Those don't work with the stripology rulers.
Any other one.
Something that retracts the sheath away from the blade and
so
keeps
that
it out of the way.
You can see the blade. You have to have some blade exposed.
Maybe a 1/4 inch of blade exposed.
Most of you are going to have no problem. You're not going to have that rotary cutter, but maybe you do. So. Right.
Yes, ma'am. And then could you possibly do a Zoom class again, Vicki? That is for sure in conversation.
Yep.
It's not impossible. It's been we're getting there.
Yep.
With 255 shut down, it's hard to get to you right now.
I know.
We understand that, Linda.
It is hard.
They do have some great, the routes are all marked real well, so it's not terrible. If you don't like getting off 255, I understand, but believe me, there's plenty of traffic exiting the highway and taking the detours, so it's easy enough to follow the traffic.
Yeah, you're following big trucks.
I understand that as well, but that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Jody,
and
glad to
hopefully
see
they'll
you
get
as well.
it. Yeah, hopefully they'll get it.
Yeah, soon, and hopefully in August when they're supposed to, because I'm over construction.
For sure.
All right, so the last component to this is you're a certified stripologist.
Correct.
which
so
is
means
great.
I can teach and I can
Right.
go and do those
Which you
other
do.
things. Yep.
But also, we are a Stripology Shop partner.
Right. Which
What does that
means
mean?
that we get early access to anything that Gudrun is doing. So it has really been kind of fun to see what's coming down,
Yeah.
what's coming up next year, what's
Right.
all those things. We're
A little
able
bit of
to
insight. It's pretty
get some
exciting.
insight, which is really cool. And yeah, but what is really cool is right now we are doing the Littles program.
Okay.
So
we kind of got a little bit of a slow start because you had a surgery situation. You were out for a bit, so we were a little delayed in getting started.
Yeah.
But we're still doing it.
Correct. So this started in April.
Okay.
With the first pattern being Little Inga, which is this guy here. Isn't that cool? So the little patterns, little is 5-inch squares instead of 10-inch squares, and using your little rulers, using your mini rulers. So a lot of us bought these mini rulers and we're using them for some things, but how do I use it for more things?
What do I do with that?
Right? So a lot of times they are table runner size.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need a table runner. Maybe you make it into a wall hanging that is more square. There's lots of other things that you can do than just table runners. But what's really cool is learning to use your rulers in a fun way.
Yeah, an exciting fun way.
Yeah.
Being able to use those rulers, you paid for those smaller rulers. Sometimes it's like Danielle uses that all the time. She's either using the big one or the little one always. But if you're just not sure how best to use that, then having something like this is a great way to kind of get that used to.
Yes.
So what'd you do here?
So
move your cup for a second. You got kind of a shadow.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm not used to all the things that have happened.
Getting better at this.
So I actually had this panel that I wanted to put into something.
And this is from a line called Besties.
Besties, yes.
Andover?
Riley
Blake. Sorry, my bad.
So, and what I did was I figured out what size 4 of these was going to make.
Yeah.
And then when I trimmed up my block from the panel, I was able to go, okay, if I just put a frame that's this size around it, then that gets it to the same size and I could put it together. So, what we're going to do is start a Littles Club.
Should I show this? No? Oh, don't look at that.
I mean, no, it's not necessary.
Okay, great.
So Littles Club is going to be 6 patterns, 6 of these little patterns. Also, my sister's going to jump in if I don't remember all the words.
Yep.
Okay. So we are starting in June with our very first one. And what it's going to be is you get the fabric to make the pattern.
Yeah.
You get the fabric to make the pattern. You get the pattern itself.
Oh, that's a
good deal. You get the binding.
Okay.
And you get a class.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
awesome.
All of that. And yes, this one should have come out in April, but we're going to bring it out in June.
Okay.
Okay. And also being a partner shop, no other shop can sell this pattern until July.
So the only people that are selling this pattern are other partner shops.
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
That's exciting. And I want to point out, it is a very specific group of shops right now. I did I did a look real quick to see how many partner shops there are currently. And currently in the United States, there are 29. Only 29 in the United States, which is amazing.
Yes.
There's an international one. So if you're in Norway, it's Meret's Quiltlofte, which translates to Meret's Quilt Loft.
Nice.
I'm not Norwegian. If I butchered that, I apologize.
I'm sure you did.
I'm certain that I did.
So then the next pattern comes out in July.
Okay.
And so we're going to, so the first 2 we're going to do back-to-back months.
Just
so
to
we're going to have
a
June and a July
okay.
Class and all that stuff. Somebody said, I think I saw something about mini cozies.
Yes.
It takes a mini cozy cut. So, because you need 5-inch squares, and we're not going to give you pre-cut 5-inch squares. No, because they're not going to be cut right.
Because your Stripology ruler will take care of that for you.
So a mini cozy cut is 6 inches by half the width of fabric. You get 12 different fabrics in that bundle. Then with this one, you can see you needed accent fabric. That's the cream that I used in mine.
Okay.
And you also need a binding. So we're giving you everything to make the top, including the binding.
Okay.
And the class and the pattern.
Nice.
How much does that cost?
$1 million.
I was thinking at least $1 million a month. Month.
Right. So
I'm looking to get paid.
It's $50 a month.
Oh, that's not bad. For a class, for a pattern and fabric?
Absolutely, yes. So
and it'll be every other month. So you'll have June, July is going to be back to back, but then every other month.
September, November, January, March.
Yep.
September, November, January, March. So this goes into March next year.
So a total of 6 patterns.
Okay.
With their fabric, with all of that.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. You get to choose your mini cozy cut. We're not going to give you everybody gets the same one or anything like that. So you get to choose. Okay. And we do have a deal right now. And I am speaking to all of my in-town people. I'm sorry. For those that are far away, we are working on a situation where we can do a Zoom or do something like that, but we don't have it situated right now. But for all of my in-town people, if you want to come and do this, even if you can't make every single date, you can sign up for the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
So if you were to sign up for $50 a piece for 6 of them, that's $300.
Yes, it is. That's quick math. Well done.
Thank you. I did it before and we got on here. But anyway, we are selling an entire package for $240.
For how long?
We are selling it until May 15th.
Okay, so if you want it's kind of an early bird deal.
It's an early bird, and you're paying for the whole thing up front. So some people are like, oh, I don't know if I can do all the dates. I don't know if I can make all the things or whatever the questions or problems might be. But even if you can't make every class, you're still going to get all of the projects, all of the things, you know, for all 6 and for $240.
So if subscription is for you, if you need it broken up for that period of time.
No. You're buying it for $240 today.
Up front.
But if I can't do $240 today,
then you're going to pick and choose which one you want for $50.
So we're not doing an actual subscription.
Nope.
Thing. Sorry, my bad. I misunderstood that.
Nope,
that's why I'm asking the questions for you guys.
So you're like, hey, I want to do July's, but I don't want to do it again till January. Okay. The one downside could be that class could already be full. That's the only thing. And
I like that.
we're trying to work out any issues or problems that may arise from that. This is a brand new thing for us, so we love when there's, hey, another question or anything like that. So
are dates for those classes listed on the calendar?
Yes, they are.
They are, Julie. Yes. Hands up in the air. What are we saying? There was a pause moment.
We are favoring whole club purchases first.
Okay.
So it will be available to do the whole club at once until the 15th. After the 15th, the individual classes will be available.
Right. So did everyone hear that?
Probably not.
Okay.
Repeat.
So we are favoring those who are doing the whole thing first, right? So right now we're only selling the whole club.
Okay.
And that's $240. Okay. If you are like, I don't know and I'm not sure, then after May 15th, then we're going to put out each individual one and however many spots are left.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it looks like, to answer Jody Blue's question, the day of the week is Thursdays. This looks like we chose Thursdays. Okay. Cool. Again, lots to think about. Again, that's Stripology. That's all we got. It's a lot. If you have more questions, if you need answers, you always come in and say hi. Everybody in the shop is pretty well versed in Stripology, I feel, at this point. So even if Danielle's not available, Mom's been showing people all the time. Diane's been showing people. Sadie shows. Everybody knows Stripology.
Yep.
So
Debbie can do it.
We can all show you how it works, get you more information, because we all love it. I mean, when you're in on a project or a product, this is one we're in on. So aside from that, I can't think of much else.
Can you put it back to the overhead just for real quick?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You should point that out.
So I used the Art Gallery binding strips.
Pre-printed binding strips.
Pre-printed, yes. So you cut but isn't that adorable? And it was the perfect color. It was oranges and pinks, which are already in here. Thank you.
Cool, awesome. All right, so just remember, no live sale Wednesday.
Right.
Store is open all week.
Right.
I won't be here. I know that makes you sad. Still come in and say hi to the folks.
Yep.
Otherwise, buy online. Which rulers do I need? Well, if you're going to purchase them from our website, You need all of them, Pam. At the very least, I'm going to strongly encourage you to get the XL.
Well, and if you want to do the 5-inch.
Oh, I put it here.
The littles.
Yeah, if you're doing Littles Club, you need one of the mini rulers.
Yeah.
Oh, which rulers needed? Maybe she meant that.
Yes.
Yes, for that class, you're going to want one of these
either
guys.
the squared mini or the quarters mini. I don't know for every specific project if one is going to be better than the other because so far I've only gotten one. So
right. But we do have them listed on our site, so you can absolutely purchase them through the website. If you don't live local and you need it shipped, we have boxes to ship it for you in, and we'll do it safely.
Yep.
So Sadie is on top of that side of it. Otherwise, I keep trying to wrap it up, and
I know.
keep kind of veering off. So.
I know. Thank you guys. This was a full day.
It was.
Hour.
It was a good time. I'm glad you guys hung out with us. I hope you got all the information. We're gonna get out of here. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.